What up, everybody? Welcome to Average Joe's XO's podcast. Max and Nick here with you, and we are headed into week 3 of the NFL season. We kind of missed last week because I was a little under the weather and Nick was getting hammered in Vegas. So, didn't get one in, but we're here now. So we got a lot to recap for week 1 and week 2 of NFL. Talk a little college football.
As much as I missed doing the podcast last week, walking around Vegas and seeing the amount of boobs I saw was just a fantastic thing.
How many times you get offered cocaine?
A lot, actually.
It's not even discreet either.
Nope. And people were just smoking blunts right outside. Like it was a wild time, man. Vegas is a wild place.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in 2 years, but I saw some of the it was some pretty wild stuff. But,
dude, like I said, they're not discreet about it too. Those dudes on the street will be like, hey.
Right. No, it was literally.
You want some white girl? I'm like, what?
Right. No, like it was unbelievable. Didn't win any fucking money at the casino, but shocking. It was a good time.
Do you think it's interesting on the street where they're like trying to get you to go to strip clubs? And it's always some weird, goofy looking guy that's trying. Like, why wouldn't you just have like hot girls that are just trying to get you to go? You know, like why a creepy dude?
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
Those were everywhere, man. Like they
dude,
flown about
nonstop.
So, but it was a good time.
Was this a work thing? This is for work?
Yeah, I had to do it. I had to go for work. So
it's so funny because I know there's always a day in there where when you do that, you're getting hammered. That's all with work people. Yeah.
There was one time that we did it live, but no strip clubs for me, man. I missed out on an opportunity to go to one. We're walking around Fremont Street and a group of people ended up going to, I guess it's called the Spearmint Rhino, and they're like, this is like the pristine of pristine strip clubs you go to. Like a lap dance, just a lap dance is like $400. So, so
I would never do that.
It was, I couldn't afford to be there. Are you kidding me?
It's a fucking
for one lap dance.
It's like half a rent for the month. It's like, fuck.
Yeah. It's I say that. And then at the same time, like I took $200 out and lost it in the slot machine. So like,
yeah, at least you had.
I could have justified another $200.
But at least you had opportunity to win, though.
Do you though?
I won $350 week 1, by the way, thanks to Kyler Murray.
Well,
I bet $50 that he was going to run in for a touchdown and throw a touchdown pass, which to me sounded like the easiest bet. And I'm like, all right, so I threw 50 at it, won $350. It was great. But then I did some other bets and lost. But yeah, man, fuck, dude. Week 1 was a shit show. I got really drunk on week 1 because I went out. I was like, hey, it's opening day. Browns playing Chiefs. I'm gonna let loose a little bit, let it off a little too loose, and drunk Max came out to play, and it was a long fucking night. Yeah, so that week 1, obviously there were. Here, dude, here's the crazy thing. Let me know if you agree. Week 1 to week 2. So week 1 was kind of crazy, right? Teams had some blowout wins. You're like, what the fuck? Like the Packers didn't expect the Packers to get blown out, games like that. And then you had like the Browns game where it was like, okay, they basically were whooping the Chiefs' ass the whole game until the last so many minutes or whatever. Even though like most people thought that the Browns would probably lose the game. But they look like, the Super Bowl contender that, they were hyped up to be. And then you go into week 2 and then, Monday night, last Monday night, you got the Ravens and you got the Raiders. Both teams look like dog shit. You know what I mean?
Rays, yeah.
So I thought Kansas City was going to beat the shit out of the fucking Ravens this week. And then the Ravens, even with Lamar throwing that shitty ass pick and stuff, like the fact that they were able to win that game too is kind of crazy. It kind of just blows my mind. So I think the difference between week 1 and week 2 just still raises so many question marks. Like even in these pick'ems, it's so hard for me to pick still because we don't really know, like, the first
right. We don't know what teams really are. We don't know their identities yet.
Like the fact that like for me in this week's game, I'm sure we'll get to it at some point, but like the Browns and Texans, like Tyrod Taylor was looking like a fucking all pro. And like there's some questions, a lot of Browns fans are questioning the Browns defense right now because despite with the talent they've added to the defense, they look like fucking Ohio State out there. And speaking of Ohio State, we can get into some college ball before we really dive into NFL if you want.
It doesn't matter. I mean, dude, yeah. What's funny is that teams that I didn't think would have like good defenses. Like the Bills were middle of the pack last year, and then this year they just look like all-star squad, like one of the better defenses in the NFL. It's just crazy. Like,
but you can even use the Bills as an example from week 1 to week 2. It's like week 1, I texted you because I dove in. I didn't really get to watch the game. Even though it was a close game, I didn't expect the Steelers to win that game, and it turns out that the Bills were actually in the red zone 4 times. So it sounds like the Bills, lost the game themselves.
Blew a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So, which going into week 2, then the Steelers who they get beat by? I think it was another close game, but who beat them? I got the sheet right here.
The Raiders, right?
Was it the Raiders? Oh, it was the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders come back and beat them too. So that's what I'm saying. Like week 1, there was week 1 teams that got blown out in week 2 or beat in week 2. And it's kind of insane. Like last night's game, I didn't get to watch too much, but I kind of figured Green Bay would bounce back after getting blown out. And the Saints freaking lose big time this week. I don't know who they played either.
Carolina.
Was it Carolina? Let's see here. Yeah, Carolina's 2-0 too. Ain't that some shit?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I tell you what, there was a lot of injuries in week 2, and like I have a small list here. A lot of them aren't severe in terms of like out for the whole season, but as far as Landry makes his first, makes the first catch of the game. It's good catch and run. You couldn't really, he was down. You couldn't really tell what was wrong with him. And then they were saying during the game that it was a torn MCL. And now we're saying it's a strain. So he's only out for a couple of weeks. And Browns get OBJ back this week. So that's good news. So Landry will be back. And unfortunately, it snaps his streak of, he was like 4th all time of like consecutive catches in a game or something like that. So obviously that's going to be broken. Which kind of sucks. Tua went down. He got fucking rocked. I had to go find that video because you said he got rocked. And I don't know, is his rib broke?
Up. No, it's just cartilage, I think.
Wentz freaking apparently twisted both ankles on the same play because I don't know, he just has a bad luck with injuries. Baker tried to be a hero and make a tackle and kind of fucked his left shoulder up, but came back into the game and balled out. Texans. It seemed like all Texans defense and shit was getting injured left and right. So I don't even know how many people are actually out for them. TJ Watt had the groin issue. He had to lead the game. Trey Sermon had to lead the game with concussion. Carr was down for a little bit. I mean, there's plenty more injuries than that. I don't know if anybody's out for the season, but just watching Red Zone and watching being on Twitter, like you can just crazy week 2 injuries,
Oh yeah. It was, I guess kind of surprising. It always seems like every year the injuries, like it's shocked, like, holy shit, look at all these injuries. And then like, does it end up actually being more this year than it was last year? Probably not, but it's always just like surprising to see it. I think this is more of a testament to really how physical of a game it is.
That too. Yeah. I think it could also be because, they're not, in previous years, like in old school NFL, I guess you could say, because everybody's big on safety now. Do you think that camp and not having as many full contact days and practice and stuff and kind of saving it for game day, like maybe there's something to, like, you don't want to risk injury in practice, but maybe there's something to get your body used to, game day speed. I don't know. I mean, that might have something to do with it, but like you said, I mean, it's probably more on just how athletic and fast and big and strong these dudes are now.
I mean, I think going through camp, I mean, the added reps are a good thing for teams because then they kind of gets people in sync. Usually defenses come out of camp a little bit more ahead of where offenses typically are. But also the added reps kind of add the potential for, injuries that could linger into the season. And as you continue to not fully heal them, see some more significant injuries throughout the course of the season. So that always plays a factor into it, I think, for sure. But I'm kind of concerned because out of the names you just mentioned, like I feel like there's more quarterback injuries this year that we've seen than we have, previously in the past. We got Tyrod that's injured. We've got Fitzpatrick that got hurt. Derek Carr went down for a minute in the previous game. Baker hurt his shoulder.
That was his fault.
Yeah. Well,
I like his aggressiveness, but chill. He's not a linebacker.
Yeah. Bro, like people were concerned that he was too small to play quarterback. So he's out here trying to tackle dudes like
I know.
my pick. But like it just as examples, like we're seeing some quarterback injuries come up. Which
I think that's fair though.
That's the position you don't want to see injuries at,
No,
right?
but you gotta look around the league besides Tom Brady. We've talked about it. These quarterbacks nowadays, all of them are have some kind of athleticism. Maybe they're not all Lamar Jackson, but they're all mobile enough to move around, right? I think the more mobile you are, you kind of take that risk. Tyrod didn't even do. He just threw the ball up. He his hamstring went. He didn't get hit or anything. So I think a lot of that, those mobile quarterbacks, are going to have that issue. Like we've seen it the last two seasons with Kyler Murray. He usually tweaks a hamstring or something towards the end of the season, and his whole game's predicated on running around, the field, which, by the way, I don't know if you've been watching the Cardinals. He's been making some fucking plays.
That's unbelievable to watch, man. I think he's probably my early front runner for MVP at the moment. So.
If they can keep it going, we'll see. So they usually have some inconsistent games like that, but he's hard to sack. And then there was one play, it looked like he just threw that bitch up and I'm like, they showed the back angle and I'm like, there's no way he could see over the line. There's no fucking way, but he threw the thing. I don't know how he saw the receiver, knew the receiver was going to be there, but yeah, we'll see. But the thing is, their defense gave up 30 something points this week too, so they can score. It's just if you can stop them at all, I think you have a good shot. But we'll see. They're 2-0 right now, and statistically, teams that are 2-0 have a really good chance of making the playoffs. So we'll see what happens. But I got to address this really quick since we're talking quarterbacks, and I think I text you, but Baker gets a lot of hate in general, and if I read this correctly, I have to pull it back up, but apparently right now after 2 games, he only has 4 incompletions, and he's got the highest completion percentage right now, which is 81%.
Yep.
So he's fucking balling. He hurt his shoulder and came in and went 10 for 10 for 100 yards or something like that. So, but Baker's got that offense under control, and he's balling out right now. So, obviously the media is going to hate on him even if he won a Super Bowl. There's literally nothing he could do. Because I didn't hear the same shit from Lamar the week 1 when he fumbled twice, or I fucking Coward was saying he thought Derek Carr's elite. I'm like, did you watch that Monday night game? I was like, he made a good throw at the end of the game. It was not great. Did you watch?
Yeah.
I didn't do this week. I did the week before because I didn't know that. The Mannings are doing that broadcast for Monday night. I thought it was the actual broadcast, and it threw me off. I'm like, because I wanted to watch the game. So at first I was like, I'm not really into this. I got to change this shit. But then you saw the clips afterwards, on Twitter. I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. But it's hard to watch the game with them because they don't show it full screen, and they're talking in the middle of it. That kind of annoyed me a little bit if you're trying to actually just watch the game. But I didn't even watch the game yesterday, so I don't even know.
I thought it was a pretty good broadcast. It wasn't. I didn't think it was. It's different, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as generic, I would say. How sometimes the announcers are kind of they act like they're saying a lot when they're not really saying anything.
Yeah.
You got your normal announcers. Some of the greatest calls though come from those guys, right? You hear Gus Johnson, and you hear some Kevin Harlan always gives some really good broadcast calls. So you miss out on that aspect, but you kind of get some cool insights, some cool stories. It's just a more kick back, relaxed type of broadcast. So I didn't mind it.
They shit on each other too.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely awkward. I think
it was the first one.
I didn't watch it the first time. I didn't watch it the first Monday night game, but I did watch it this time around, and it is a little weird, definitely different, but I kind of dig it. Especially if you're gonna try to change pace, just throw a little change of pace broadcast in there. But
so I should probably get into this. And then I'm gonna touch on Ohio State because they fucking irritate me right now. But so we're going to week 3. We weren't on last week. Technically, I am 0-2 right now in the pick'ems. So I do have to shotgun 2 beers. I do have to shotgun 2 beers. It's not gonna happen right now, but next episode, I potentially could be shotgunning 3 beers. So and one of them is beer of my choice. So one of them is gonna be a Coors Light, and I guess this is if I even lose week 3.
Just grab 2 Coors Lights because I didn't say what beer we were shotgunning the second week. So just do 2 of those.
Okay. That helps
this week. This week. I am going to nominate a Heineken beer.
Oh, okay. Wait.
Because the Bills play.
I'd have to chug it. Well, they make it in cans, don't they? That's not a beer bottle only. Yeah. They got cans.
Yeah, I think. And if not, then you pour it out in a solo cup and you just drink it down.
It's fine with me.
But the reason I'm doing it is because the Bills play Taylor Heineke this week.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. That's good.
We're gonna go Heineken.
What are you drinking right now?
It's called an AHA. No free sponsorship. Water. If you want to sponsor us, it's a very. I'll put it this way: I was surprised. I didn't know what to expect going in.
Yeah.
It has a very light flavor of lime and watermelon, and it's kind of like a soda tonic water. Not tonic because it's not sweet, but it's like a soda water.
Yeah.
So I'm pleasantly surprised with it. It's pretty refreshing. So, I didn't know what to expect though.
I fuck with them, dude. I stopped buying them because we got a Sprouts out here. They got a Sprouts brand of that stuff, and I stopped buying it. Even though it's cheap as shit, I stopped buying it because I could kill a case so fast. Fuck. Even if it's lemon, lime, or that, it's good shit.
I needed to hydrate post Vegas.
Post Vegas. Yeah. That's funny. I totally understand that. Well, before we get into, really, we can even go into maybe as we do pick'ems, we can go into some if whatever sparks comes in our brain about previous weeks or whatever, we could probably talk about that. But before we get there, I kind of just want to address some college ball. I guess if you want to call it an upset, there's 2 upsets over the weekend. There wasn't a ton of games. I guess you could say Penn State beating Auburn was a big one. And what we're seeing this year is, LSU losing to UCLA. So the SEC's got some big losses to Big Ten and Pac-12. So we're kind of seeing a mix right now, which is it's good for college football. Actually, I think you saw Ohio State get beat by Oregon the week before. And then even Ohio State this week playing, was it Tulsa? Or was it one of those schools? I think it was Tulsa. But I gotta tell you, man, after 3 weeks, defensively, I don't know if Ohio State just turns over a lot and then just has a lot of young people. I know all their linebackers went to the NFL basically, so they got a lot of young people playing. I don't know if they're just not executing or what's going on with the defense there, but I know we're 3 weeks in, but it's not good, right? I am predicting that, and I say this because our offense isn't that good either. I think the talent's there, the receivers, one of the best in the college football, the running backs. Trayvon Henderson. I told you, we told last year, I'm dude, we got to watch this kid. And he's starting to become a monster in 3 weeks as a freshman. Literally just broke. I think he's third. As a freshman, the rushing yards he had last week, I think it was 277. So it's just right. It's above Zeke and just under Dobbins, I think. So he's gonna be a monster for at least another year or two. But I just think CJ Stroud, I know he's a young kid, but like we've seen young quarterbacks come in with some hype who have balled out, Lawrence being one of them, insert, there's some other guys, but I don't think he's the kid, man. I don't think he's the guy. He's, if you look at his stats, it would be very misleading. Because there's some throws when you watch that game, he makes some inconsistent throws all the time, like too high. He misses a lot of receivers. A lot of times, Wilson and Olave, I feel like, are bailing him out actually on a bad throw. So I don't know if there will be a quarterback change, during the season. I wouldn't be surprised if there was. I know we're only 3 games into it, but we'll see how it kind of goes on. But I'm going to tell you right now, I think Penn State with their defense beats Ohio State this year. And I hate to say it, but if they don't get their shit together, Michigan's going to end up beating them finally.
Michigan looks strong too. Like their defense looks good. Do enough on offense to make things work. That's going to be a challenge. I don't think it's I don't feel as confident in a lot of these bigger games or even inside the Big Ten as I have in the, in the past.
Yeah. Because even Iowa looks tough. There's a couple teams in the Big Ten look tough.
Yeah. I think we saw it, I figured Minnesota wouldn't be a pushover at all.
Oh yeah. Even losing that, who knows what would have happened if they're running back. Yeah. Who knows? We might've lost that game.
But, I think that's just evidence that, despite recruiting a ton of high caliber athletes and some good prospects, you got to put the pieces together a little bit. And I just don't know. Defensively, I'm not sure what their plan is. You know what I mean? I don't know that they make the adjustments they make come far too late in games.
Oh yeah, that Oregon
was definitely
game.
evidence. That was definitely evidence in Oregon. Like
they ran the same play.
Yeah, and they finally made an adjustment and had a couple 2-3 consecutive defensive stands, and then they just couldn't get their shit together on offense. Like it was like the worst time for their offense to stall out. You know what I mean? So. I don't know if it's like a coaching thing or, what the deal is, but there's definitely some concern there on the defensive side of the ball. Whereas we never really had to worry about that before, right? Like the linebacker play was always good. We all, Ohio State always had a solid core of linebackers. The defensive backs, I'm not really too worried about them. They seem to be playing pretty well, but there's like, on the defensive line, it's not consistent enough. Like the front seven just hasn't been playing as consistently.
Oregon dominated them up front.
Yep, and and the linebacking core is pretty young for Ohio State, so that's something to consider when you're looking at some maybe lackluster play.
Yeah,
a little bit of inexperience. Making checks, getting guys lined up properly. Diagnosing certain run fits and things. So. You got some inexperience there. Hopefully it gets better as the year goes on. And that's, you got to rely on the development, the coaching development of that unit. And if that unit picks up, I don't know that we were, as concerned about the offense because you're getting a little bit more opportunity to, succeed on the offensive side of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And your game plan doesn't necessarily have to be so lopsided. But, at the same time, it's definitely, I haven't felt as confident this year as I typically do with Ohio State football. So,
dude, did you see, I didn't know it was this close. I had to see the highlights that later that day, but did you see the Florida-Alabama game come down to the wire?
I did. And Florida's kind of a surprising team to me this year. Their quarterback's legit.
Who is he? Is he young?
For his last name is Robinson.
Yeah, because it was Trask or the kid who got drafted last year for them that had hype that kind of
Trask.
That was Trask. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's a new kid. So
Anthony Richardson. That's my fault. Anthony Richardson.
I have to keep an eye on them because it looked like Bama was going to run away with it this year easily. So. If that's maybe either Florida's that good or maybe it's a sign that, maybe it'll be a little closer than we think here for college ball. But before we get into these pick'ems, actually, let me look. I don't even want to see if there's any what big games we got this week college wise. By the way, while I pull this up, how's the fantasy going, dude? I feel like I still feel strong about my teams, but fuck, dude. I won last week in one league, but I'm fucking getting my ass beat. All right, week 4, college football. Notre Dame, Wisconsin. If Wisconsin had a quarterback play, I'd say it wouldn't even be a game. Notre Dame's been fucking getting lucky, dude. As they kind of always are. Did Arkansas had a big win last week? Who'd they beat? They beat the shit out of somebody. Did you see that highlight?
I didn't not.
The running back had I forget what his stats were, but he balled out. So you got Texas A&M versus Arkansas this week.
Yeah, so my fault. Emory Jones and Anthony Richardson. I think Emory Jones was the guy that played against Alabama this week, but Richardson was the other guy that they have. So he was the guy I was talking about. Dude, Richardson, he looked good.
Also, I'm going to throw this out there. I know everybody talks about, Oklahoma, but Oklahoma, man, they haven't really been. They had another close game, dude. Like, they are not, they're kind of overhyped like they are every year. Like, I think they're going to lose eventually, I think. Yeah, there isn't any really crazy big matchups this week either.
I was going to wire with Coastal Carolina, man.
Yeah, I was going to tell you about that. I saw the score, like the updates. I was going to text you. I totally forgot. Like, they almost fucking upset them.
Yep, that was that I saw some of that game. I was watching a little bit of it before my flight, and when I got off we finally get back, I checked the scores. I was like, oh shit, they lost.
Oh, and then I think they ended up losing. But remember, that was because we didn't record last week. It was during the last episode. You mentioned Appalachian State because I forget who they were playing, but you were like, hey, they usually upset.
Oh, it was Miami. They were playing Miami, and it was like it was a bar burner.
And they almost beat them.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, fuck, dude. But that's just that they're known for that.
Whenever can't count them out, man.
No, dude.
Power 5 teams, they show up.
They do. Yeah, there isn't really any crazy big games this week. Probably not until week 4, but I guess we'll see what we got here on the NFL side of things for week 3 of our pick'em. Oh, I did forget to add the other bet we had. I got to go back and kind of see, because Nick and I both forget. We bet on when Justin Fields would be playing. I picked week 3. He picked week 5. And well, we haven't got the word yet officially, but Andy Dalton banged his knee up. Potentially could see Fields start this week against Cleveland. I want Fields to do good. We'll talk about it, but
so what if he starts this week and then Andy Dalton's healthy enough to play week 4 and Andy Dalton plays week 4? Like how do we?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. I have to go back and listen to the episode to kind of see what it was, because we both forget what we bet because I don't remember.
The loser has to drink lime watermelon aha. Oh shit, no.
Too easy. I got a list here I wrote down of the games. So
Thursday
Panthers Texans. Damn, Panthers starting 2-0 with fucking what's his nut at quarterback?
Old Sammy Darnold.
And Sam Darnold. I think the Texans got pretty banged up. I doubt Tyrod's gonna be back. They looked. I mean, the Browns' defense is kind of fucking up right now, which we'll probably talk about in a minute. But Texans actually looked better than I thought they were going to be. I don't know if that was just a fluke or not, but I'm gonna go with Panthers in this game.
Yeah, same.
Bears versus
I just did a single game draft on Underdog Fantasy, which is an app that does daily just drafts. And I had the first pick of 3 people, and I ended up getting Christian McCaffrey in this game. But then my other 2 guys are pretty much dog shit that I don't even know that they'll play because of just you have 3 people and you got to draft 4 flex players. So
McCaffrey balled out last week. He had like 30 points of fantasy or some shit, didn't he?
Yeah, you want to know why? It's because I didn't have a chance to draft him in any leagues this year. So,
next game, Bears Browns. I think the Browns win this one. Hopefully, their defense, like I mentioned earlier, looks like shit. I don't know what's going on there. I know Myles Garrett gets double teamed a lot, but I don't know. Like, it's been a question mark. A lot of people are kind of talking about it. Because there's a lot of other big time DNs that still, are kind of, causing problems. And it's making people wonder, like, what's going on with Myles. And when one buddy's like, dude, he does, he's like, I'd rather have Chandler Jones. He's like, at least he's like, Myles doesn't jump off sides every 2 seconds, or Chandler doesn't jump off sides every 2 seconds and still like get sacks and blah. That was obviously after week 1 when Chandler just busted off 5 of them. But I mean, like, I don't know, something to monitor and keep an eye on. I think Clowney's doing a great job. I know it doesn't show up as a, because he's a DN that's, people want to see him get to the quarterback, but he does a lot of shit in the run game. That's fucking great. So I think he's doing all right, but they got to fix something on defense because, like Denzel Ward's playing off the ball. They're doing like a lot of man, it looks like, but Denzel Ward's giving so much cushion to some of these guys. And it's like, what are you doing, dude? Like, I don't know, but it's kind of frustrating just because we got those new guys and the defense has talent. Delpit looks good. I know it was his first game, but he looked pretty fucking good. Bears defense though had a balled out last game. I don't know if you saw. Their offense even with Dalton was not scoring many points anyway. So I think the Browns should be able to take this game, but I think the Bears defense will probably be pretty solid though.
This could be a low scoring game, like a lower scoring game. I think, especially if Baker's hurt and he's not really feeling 100%.
I mean, they're going to give him a shot. Let's be real. Get that fucking shot. He'll be all right. It's in his as an opposite hand.
What's going on with Odell? Does he play this week? He almost might have to.
That's what they're they're saying that he posted a video of him running and shit. So it sounds like this is the game he was coming back for. So
I need him, man. I got him in a fantasy league, and I'm sucking in fantasy this year. I'll just put it that way. So, like, if he could come back and play and help me win a game or two, maybe that'd be helpful. But
I seem to always play the people that just happen to have the high scores that week.
Oh, I play.
If it was like anybody else.
Cooper Kupp, Aaron Jones.
Oh fuck, because Kupp went off. Dude, Kupp had like what 40 points.
I played against all 3 of those guys, and they all just. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I have Tyler Lockett in that league. Oh, okay, not bad. He had a really fucking good day, but nobody else on my team had a good day. So, it was hard to compete.
Yeah.
But what do we got here? Baltimore at Detroit. Baltimore coming off a big win.
They are.
Telling everyone to suck on these nuts. We're not terrible.
Lions were playing tough, and then they kind of fizzled out there against Green Bay. I still think the Ravens are a beatable team, even though they beat Kansas City. I think I'm still going to go Ravens though in this one. I
went Ravens as well.
I just don't trust the Lions.
I don't know if I threw my pick in. I threw Cleveland in for the Cleveland.
I figured. I read that Penny Sewell, or Penny Sewell. Dude, he hasn't given up a sack since like 2018 when he was at Oregon. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
And just think, Cincinnati, you could have had that because you fucking need it.
Well, it's just like week 1 was Trevor Lawrence's first ever loss at any level of sports ever. So,
shit.
Yeah. That was the first loss he's ever suffered as a starting quarterback at any level of sports he's played.
Well, wait. He lost to Ohio State last year.
Somebody said that, like it was like his first ever loss, which was insane to me.
No, because Ohio State beat them in the playoffs. I thought that was his first loss.
Well, didn't he get hurt? Wasn't he hurt?
Yeah, well, for the Notre Dame game, but but they still won that game.
Whoever said that's full of shit. So maybe that's only his second loss ever all time.
Yeah. Unless it was like, because they got beat pretty bad though, because he threw like 3 interceptions. I bet you. That's right. I bet you he hasn't thrown like that many picks ever.
Like ever in his life, probably not.
Probably not. We'll get speaking of picks, we'll get to that whenever we come across it here. You know what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah.
What's the next game? I have Bills Washington on my list here.
We're gonna go Washington. Per tradition.
I got to take. I think the Bills can't lose that game.
I mean, they absolutely can lose that game.
with Heineke.
Listen, they absolutely.
Are you picking? Are you about to pick against your Bills again?
I did.
Oh,
I'm picking Washington, bro.
Oh shit! You're going back to the.
I cannot strive, or I cannot veer away from tradition.
After that week one, losing the Steelers, you can't. You got to keep it going. You got to pick against.
Yeah, that's how. If they win this week, then you already know the drill. Like you might as well just chalk it up whoever the Bills are playing. I'm not picking.
This game's gonna be tough, dude. We got Colts versus the Titans. Titans are 0-2, right? A lot of people thought that they would be top of the AFC. I didn't necessarily feel like that going into the season. I felt like their time was kind of closing. And then the Colts are are they 1-1? Or were they? What's their record? Did they win? No, they lost.
They lost last week.
So they're 0-2 as well. Yeah, they lost to the Rams. All right. So the battle of the 0-2 teams. Who's going to get the win here? I guess I could say the same for the Colts, man. I thought they were going to be the team in the AFC that was actually going to be surprised, tough, but not like last year, man. They're I don't know what's going on. I haven't got to watch them too much. This is a toss-up for me. Who are you going with?
I went Tennessee.
Did you? All right. Well, I'm going to take the Colts to have another game that differs from you.
Especially if Carson Wentz is old fucking bum ankles McGee out here.
They just need to give that dude fucking metal legs, I guess.
Who is he? Lieutenant Dan? Come on.
I mean, he's gonna. By the time his career's over, he's gonna be
the titanium legs made from the spaceship.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
By the time he's done playing, dude, it's it ain't looking good. So we'll fucking see. Chargers versus the Chiefs.
It's hard to bet against Patrick Mahomes.
It is.
Despite what happened last week.
Yeah, I don't know when's the last time they even lost 2 games in a row.
I don't know.
It's been a long time.
It's hard to say.
Before Patrick Mahomes got there. So it's been at least fucking, was this 4 years? So at least 4 years ago.
At least before our lifetime. It's just unlikely. It's unlikely.
Saints versus Patriots, and I agree with that. I mean, Chargers look good. I mean, who knows? I mean, the Chiefs defense is not. I mean, you can score points on them, right? They're not. They might make plays, but like you can score on them. It's just a matter of can you fucking just keep it up, and keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Saints Patriots, very interesting matchup. I know the Patriots kind of shut down the Jets last week. Big whoop.
Keep in mind, Bill Belichick is very good against rookie quarterbacks.
Yep.
It's just reality.
Just what happens, man.
I'm not buying the hype. So New Orleans.
Going with the Saints. I'm also going with the Saints as well. That one I can't go for. Next up, we got Falcons and Giants.
This one was a tough one for me, man. But
Kyle Pitts got me some points last week, for like 14 points, but still solid second game.
I like what I saw from the Giants despite the fact that they blew it on just being a super undisciplined team, what they did against Washington. And I think they can replicate that against Atlanta. This one, it's just a battle of the shit shows. And I'm going to go with the Giants on this one, I think. That was a tough call for me, though.
Is it? No, it's a tough call. That's why I'm going to go with the Falcons, because I just want to have different picks. And the Falcons, I feel like, should be better than they are, but they just got some issues. Like defensively, they're still shit. So, yeah, I think this game might be close. I think it'll be down to the wire for sure. Bengals Steelers.
This one another tough one, but I'm gonna side with Pittsburgh here.
It's tough. Did they say anything about TJ Watt? Is he gonna be playing in this game?
I think he might play. I think so.
Oh shit. I think didn't Burrow have a tough game last week, didn't he? Didn't he throw a couple picks? It looked like he got beat up, which I feel like he kind of always does.
Yep.
But that game was still close to Chicago, and Chicago still has a solid defense. They're playing in Pittsburgh. I really want to pick against Pittsburgh so bad, but because I've just, for the sole fact that I fucking hate their guts. But it's really hard to do that, especially at home. I would love nothing more than the Bengals to win, but I guess I got to go Steelers too. Next up, we got the Cards and the Jags.
Cardinals. I think that's
dude. It's easy. Yeah, the Jags are gonna be, just because it's first year coach, first year quarterback. It's gonna be tough. Pull some shit off. Jets Broncos. How does Super Soaker Zach Wilson bounce back from that 4 interception? Or what was it? He had 4.
Dude, he was at one point. I saw the stat. He was like 2 for 5 with 3 picks.
But he ended up. God, I wish I could find it on Twitter.
Nate Peterman light.
Oh, dude, that's what I was telling you. Check the Nathan Peterman page on Twitter, because people were like, they're like, oh, Nathan Peterman's like, hold my beer, dude. Yeah, he had 4 completions and 4 interceptions. Which, how does that happen? I don't know how you bounce back from that, being a young player like that. That's going to be fucking tough. So I mean, I got to go with the Broncos, dude, because yeah, dude, I just, like we said, they were hyping him up with the Jets, and it's like, hey man, and dude, people were like, what'd they say? This is why you don't base NFL or talent on throwing against air or some shit like that, because of his pro day and playing in the conference he played in or whatnot with no fans. But I don't know. We'll see how he goes throughout the season. Next up, we got Dolphins versus the Raiders.
Went Raiders this week.
Yeah,
it'll be a tough.
Who's even the Dolphins back? Oh, Brissett, right?
Yeah,
right. That's the backup. Yeah, I'm going Raiders as well. Next up, Buccaneers versus the Rams. Bucks look.
I actually changed this halfway through.
Did you?
I went with the Rams.
Did you? I mean, offensively, they look good.
This might be one of the tougher defenses that Tom Brady's faced so far.
Is their defense still doing all right? I know they lost some pieces. I just didn't. But yeah, I mean, Stafford looks fucking good with them, dude. I might have to go back and watch highlights to see what Cup was doing that made him ball out. I don't know what he did.
Everything. Imagine anything. Just imagine everything possible that a player could do when he was doing it. So,
what do I want to do here? I think I'll take Bucks. Fuck it, keep it interesting, Okay. Next up, we got Seahawks Vikings.
Went with Seattle.
Seattle, dude, it's so weird because fuck, dude, they're I never think Seattle's gonna be. I think they're gonna always suck just because their defense ain't what it used to be. But offensively, man, I just Lockett and Wilson are locked in, dude.
Yep, they're always
it's
always dialed in. I feel like
it's crazy,
which sucks because I got DK in a league. But
yeah, he's been kind of quiet, hasn't he?
Yeah, but Lockett's just he's consistent, man. He's consistently either really solid or just a stud.
But even it seems like, is Carson their running back? That's their number 1 guy, right?
Yep.
Running back.
Yep.
He seems to be doing well too. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I don't know what the Vikings seem that they've gotten so close, and I want to pick them, but I'm not going to. Seahawks. Packers 49ers.
Another couple teams that are interesting.
Packers, they look good last night. 49ers, they are looking good in that right now.
They're battling a ton of injuries, man. So I went
Again?
Green Bay. Running backs.
Well, running backs, yeah. But everywhere else is all right.
Fine. They just lost Jason Verrett for the year.
I'm going to go 49ers still. Kind of nervous about it, but then
this game
Monday night was that Eagles Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys barely get the win this past week against Chargers, right? Came down to a field goal.
Yep.
I actually fell asleep during that game. Oh, I had it on Red Zone, and I fell asleep during those games. But what did the Eagles do last week? I can't remember. Who the fuck they played?
I think they lost.
Yeah, to San Francisco, actually. Divisional game. I don't see
I went Dallas.
Yeah, I don't see the Eagles winning this one. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got 5 games that are different. What's the
total? My point total in that game is 52.
You're going 52 in that game. I'm gonna go 48. I don't know why. Probably should win a little higher, but fuck it.
Yeah.
All right. There we have it, dude. There we have it. Week 3. It's kind of crazy. We're already in week 3, dude.
If you have to drink 3 beers, you have to pour the Heineken in with the Coors Lights and drinking out of a giant mug. Just a straight.
Oh, okay. Instead of shotgunning?
Yeah, instead of shotgunning each individual one.
Okay.
You're going to mix 2 Coors Lights and a Heineken.
Oh, it's going to be so gross.
I should have honestly said Guinness, so that way you had to do it that way. Guinness and 2 Coors Lights, but I'm not that asshole.
Oh, man. That would have been interesting. All right.
But if I have to drink it, I'll gladly drink a Heineken,
Okay.
Just know next week the stakes are getting raised.
Yep,
okay.
That's fair.
Or if I go 3-0, like, I'm gonna feel real confident in my pick'em prowess. So who the fuck knows what I come up with?
This is payback
for a beer.
Let's payback for last year is what this is.
I will inevitably lose if that's the case. Week 4, I'm fucking losing because I want to pick some shit beer and I'm gonna have to drink it. I already know. But
all right. I'm gonna pick a fucking sour beer. You like that shit?
Oh yeah, I like sours.
Oh, you would like fucking sour. That's where I fucking lose in this because I don't drink a lot of crazy shit, and you drink a lot of those heavy beers. So like, I don't think there's a beer that I could pick that you fucking wouldn't have a problem drinking.
Ah man, chugging it though, that's the difference.
Yeah,
chugging a sour, will fuck with your stomach.
Yeah, or an IPA, you'd probably be tipped. I'd be feeling it after one.
Like I might have to find I have to look and see what kind of beers you guys have access to out there.
Yeah.
It might be like a crazy high octane beer, or it could just be the shittiest of shit beers you ever see in your life.
Oh, like a fucking Foster, dude. I have nightmares. I try to drink a Foster.
Fosters.
It's
might be a Fosters. It might be a whole fucking giant ass can of Fosters.
Oh, it's the worst.
The big can.
It's the worst. Oh fuck. Oh god. Well, it'll be good content, I guess. Fuck. Well,
put it on the TikTok.
It's going. Yeah, dude. I think that's all we got for today. If you want to follow us, you can follow us at AJXO Pod on Twitter and TikTok. Personally, I'm at Justin_Maxim.
You can hit me up at BillsFan53, and that's B1LLSFan53.
Yeah, dude. And I think hopefully next week we'll get a little more organized. I'm gonna pay more attention, take notes through the week, and have a little bit more things we can talk about, I think. But
no promises. I'm heading to a show in Cincinnati on Thursday.
Damn, you're traveling all over the place.
Bro, I've got a show. I had a show in Vegas last week, show coming up this week. On the 7th, I'm going to Tennessee. So, so it's going to be like 3 shows in 4 weeks. So it's a pretty crazy time.
Yeah,
but Hey, at least I have natural immunity and vaccine immunity to the Rona. So
You're good to go.
Yeah, so we should be good.
Hells yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. And until then, that's all we got for today. And y'all be sweet.